Hello everybody. Today we are going to make melanzane sott'olio, which in English means eggplant under oil. This eggplant can be added to any sandwich for additional flavor and also as an accompaniment on any antipasto dish. Let's get started. Okay, the first thing we're doing is we're going to wash all of the eggplant. Then these are organic eggplants. I washed this one already, but we'll do it again. Okay. Now we're going to peel the eggplant. Clean off the top. We'll use this peeler. When I was peeling this off camera, the peels were coming right off and not staying in the way like they are now. But I guess that always happens, doesn't it? Okay, there's one. Okay, all of my eggplant are peeled, and now what we need to do is slice them. So, I have my slicer here. Let me set my camera up a little bit better for you. Okay, let's get started slicing this up. I just want to check the thickness. This thickness is perfect. I would say it's about 3/16 of an inch, just under 1/4 of an inch. Okay, I guess it's going to be difficult slicing the ends, so I'll do those by hand. do not like this slicer. It's a cheap slicer that I purchased at Harbor Freight. Okay, now what we're going to do is cut the eggplant into long strips. So what we'll do is we'll get a few pieces. I have 4 pieces here. Line it up on the edge. And now we'll just cut it. Okay. So as you can see, we have nice strips, and we'll put these aside. Okay. We have about, a gallon and a half of water, and to that, I'm going to add salt. I'm adding about 50 grams, and this is kosher salt. Let me just stir it around a little bit. And I'm going to put all of the eggplant strips in here as I cut them. But these are the ones that I cut already. Now the salt in the water is going to withdraw all of the liquid out of the eggplant. I keep wanting to say melanzane because this is actually what I'm making. I'm making melanzane sott'olio, which means eggplant in olive oil. Okay, let me move this out of the way. And now we'll continue on cutting the eggplant. Again, I'm lining everything up. Okay, we're back. We have all the eggplant in the salt water. And now what I'm going to do is add vinegar. After this sits for 24 hours, we'll be rinsing it, squeezing them, and rinsing them. And then we'll salt them up a little bit more because all the salt and the vinegar will come out of it after I wash them. But we'll resalt them a little bit to taste, and then we'll add vinegar to taste. I'm adding 200 milliliters of water, of white vinegar, which is just a touch more than 3/4 of a cup. And I'm also adding the same amount, 200 milliliters of apple cider vinegar. I like the taste of apple cider vinegar, but I don't think it'll be strong enough. So that's why I'm adding the white vinegar with it. You know, this smells delicious already. Now what the vinegar is going to do is this eggplant isn't cooked. So the vinegar will help break down the cell structure of the eggplant to make it nice and tender, and it'll taste as if it's cooked. Okay, now I'm going to put a plate on top of this, and then we'll press it down to make sure everything stays under the liquid. You can see the water's turning brown already. That's all of the acids and liquids coming out of the eggplant. So let me find a lid that will fit, or a plate that will fit that, and we'll weigh it down. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, we're back now. All right, I found something that it's not as big as I would like it to be, but I don't think I have another choice. I'm trying to think of what else I could put in here to make sure everything gets weighed down. Maybe I could tuck it underneath the plate. By the way, most of the seeds, as you see them floating around here, they'll just fall off of the eggplant, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay. All right, now I need to put a weight on here. So I'll use my vinegar container. I'll weigh it down, and then I'll tuck everything under. I usually make a smaller batch, so I don't have this problem. But this is working. If a few pieces stay floating around, that's okay. I'm going to cover the whole thing with paper, with saran wrap, plastic wrap. Okay. Now, this has to sit for 24 hours. And tomorrow we'll be back and we'll be on to the second part of this. Okay. Thanks for stopping by. This is Mr. Buongustaio signing off until tomorrow. Hi everybody. We're back the following day, and this is what our eggplant looks like. Actually, before we got on I turned the camera on, I did mix this a little bit. I was a little concerned because the water wasn't as dark as what it usually looks. But I massaged the eggplant. Thank you, Buster. Thank you. You know you're interrupting my video. Oh, let's try that again. Oh. I don't think this is going to work. Would you eat your medicine, please? Do you see the light on? I'm trying to video. Stop. Well, here we go. We'll try it again. Now, what I did was, I'm just massaging this a little bit, hopefully to squeeze a little bit more of the bitterness out of the eggplant. And after this, I'll wash every bit of it in the sink, and then I'll put it in my press to press out all the liquid. Now, usually you would use a fruit press, but I don't have a fruit press. And I found that my sausage stuffer, thank you, Buster. I found that my sausage stuffer works just fine in compressing all the liquid out of the eggplant. You can see the difference between a piece that's compressed and non-compressed. Now, hopefully, the vinegar will have tenderized all of this eggplant. So give me 1 minute and we'll be back after I set ourselves up at the kitchen sink. Okay, now we're going to rinse the eggplant and squeeze it out. I don't think I really need that. bowl. So I'll tell you, it smells really delicious. When I was off camera, I skimmed off all of the seeds. I used a small strainer. That's why you don't see many seeds floating around in here. Okay, now let me just dump this water out. You could see all the darkness in it from the bitterness in the eggplant. You just give it a little bit of a rinse. And rinse this. And now we'll fill this with water and just give it a little bit of a rinse. You can see the color that they took on. They're really soaked. And the vinegar actually did its job by making it very tender. Let me give it a little taste. It's delicious. It's not bitter. It actually tastes really good. And it's not salty either. Okay. Let's let this sit for a little bit. Oh, about 15 minutes or so. And then what I'm going to do is put it in the press and squeeze out all of the water. As I mentioned, I don't have a fruit press, so I'll be using my sausage press. It works just as well, but one day I do hope to get a fruit press, a small one, and then a large one for when I press my grapes and apples, when I make wine and hard apple cider. Okay, I'll be back. Now we're going to load up the sausage maker. Wait until you see how compressed this gets. You know, it looked like I made so much. I think it was 6 eggplant. And this is it. I lost the nut for the vent, so I'm using a piece of string to hold the screw up. Okay, let me crank this down a little bit. Okay. All right, here comes the liquid. You can see it coming out now. Let me finish. Oh boy. Some of it came out through the tube. It usually never happens. Okay, I don't know if you can see this in the camera or not, but here you could see all the liquid that came out so far. Let me give it another. Actually, I'm going to take this off. This is really the first time this has ever happened. All right. Let me see if I could do it a little bit more. We really want to get all of the water out. All right, I think that's about it. Let me empty the machine and check it out, and I'll be back in 1 second. As you can see, it really compressed it down. Now, if I had a fruit press, I would be able to compress it down a little bit more, but that's about the best that I'm going to do with the sausage press. I just lost a light. Okay, now what I'm going to do is cut up this pepper and add some of this pepper to the mix. It doesn't have much taste right now because all of the vinegar and salt has been washed out of it. So I'm going to add a little bit of vinegar and mix it around. I don't want them to be too vinegary. And I would like to put a little bit more salt in here. Ooh. Okay, let me mix it up. Now let's give this a check. Okay, we're back. My eggplant is seasoned perfectly, and now I'm going to add it to my jars. Actually, I think before I do that, I'm going to add olive oil just so that it's all coated a little bit. Now, my friend McKelly of McKelly Expert on YouTube, he uses sunflower oil, but I like olive oil, so that's what I'm going to use. Put a piece of pepper and garlic in. Okay. Now this jar already has the garlic and the pepper in it, so I'll start adding this in, and another piece of garlic and another pepper. And my hands right now are nice and oily. Nothing wrong with olive oil. Okay, we'll do our third jar. Now this, again, this was from, I'm not sure if it was 6 or 8 eggplant. I have to look back in the video. I think it was 6 eggplant. Okay. Now, I'm not canning these. I am just going to put them in the refrigerator. I'm giving one to a friend, and then the rest I'll keep in the fridge because I probably eat about a jar of this every couple of weeks. Okay, let me move this out of the way. Clean my hands. I'm going to add more pepper to each one of them. And another little piece of garlic. And now I will fill them up with olive oil. Melanzane, sott'olio. Eggplant under the oil. And I'm using extra virgin olive oil. Okay, I like using a chopstick just to work everything down. Okay, now I'll add more olive oil. Okay. And that is it. If I had Italian rolls in the house, I would make a sandwich for you and put some on the sandwich to show you what it looks like. You won't be able to see how it tastes, but you can just imagine. Let me get a paper towel. Okay, the paper towel is dipped in a little vinegar, and I'm just cleaning the top of the jar. Now, as I said, I'm not canning it. This is going right in the refrigerator. And that's it. Eggplant in olive oil. Great on sandwiches or on any antipasto board. Melanzane sott'olio. Okay. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please click the like button and please subscribe and hit the bell so that you'll get all of my updates. Thank you very much. This is Mr Buongustaio signing off. Thank you.